Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. It's very early morning here. It's about 8:30 in the morning. I'm in a hotel, so we're going to try and keep things on the down low here, the DL, you know what I mean? Keep things quiet. But Tony Schiavone, he's finally commented on the death of Hulk Hogan. I say he's finally, he already did it, but AEW, an AEW wrestler on an AEW show, and to be honest, this was their first attempt at that because Dynamite happened before the passing of Hulk Hogan, but at the same time, I do believe that there isn't. Well, no, I don't believe. I know for a fact there's no excuse, right? I know they will be blacklisted Hogan from the company for saying a word, but we'll bring in MVP who's literally robbed, 10 people on a cruise ship. That great guy. Anyway, if MVP can be forgiven for robbery and going to jail and all that stuff, and there's plenty of wrestlers with a similar past, then why can't Hulk Hogan be forgiven for saying a word? Because they're pathetic. Alright, that's why. Anyway, Tony Schiavone, this is what he had to say regarding the death of Hulk Hogan. I'm using the screen recorder because it's easier to upload when you're in a hotel. It uploads like finna clicky of fingers anyway. And I quote, "It was quite a week for us all. I've been in professional wrestling for a long time. With the unexpected death of Hulk Hogan, Hogan was the man who brought professional wrestling into the mainstream in the 80s and the 90s, right here on this network, right here on TNT, almost 30 years ago. Hulk Hogan lit the fire that began the Monday Night Wars. He also put WCW on cable TV map right here on TNT. Sometimes we take a look at these stars that are bigger than life and we forget they are just human. And we forget they have families that care about them. Our condolences go out to Hulk Hogan's family, his children, Brooke and Nick, his wife, Sky. If you've ever lost a member of your family, you have no idea the pain what they're going through right now. And believe me, it is intense. From all of us here at AW, rest in peace, brother. End of quote. That was a nice wee thing there for Shivani. And he's right. No, I think you, the reality is you will have to be probably young never to experience death in your family. I mean, you could make it into your 20s and no one in your family's died, and maybe your grandparents, maybe they had your parents young, and your parents had you young or whatever, right? So, but most of us have all experienced it, and that's what you got to bear in mind, man. It's not just wrestling fans have lost the guy, I mean, the guy that put us all here. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting in this hotel room. Well, I might be sitting in this hotel room, but I wouldn't be talking about wrestling in this hotel room without Hulk Hogan. And and they are human. You forget that. You know what I mean? Like, as big as Hogan is, Austin, Rock, Cena, Undertaker. I could go on for years about the stars in this business. They're human. They've got families. They've got friends. They've got a house. They've got cars. They've even got a fridge. And as silly as that is, that's what they do. They do. See, once the show goes off the air, folks, they don't just vanish into thin air until the next one, right? And I know kayfabe's dead, but reality is that they've got lives outside of this, and you've got to feel for their families. And yeah, fitting tribute from Shivani because Shivani lived it, the WCW years, Hulk Hogan. I mean, I'm happy to say that I've watched pretty much. I watched the debut. I've watched the debut episode of Nitro right up until late '98 WCW. I mean, I've seen a couple of episodes here and there after that, but in terms of every episode, I've watched every episode of Nitro pretty much from '95 to late '98, and it was great seeing Hogan. Whether it was the red and yellow, then he reinvented himself, the NWO, which was utterly fantastic. Put WCW in the map, man, and it's wrestling business is a tough business, but for this guy to be able to reinvent himself in such a way and change the business not once but twice, it's hard to do that. I mean, I can't think of someone that has reinvented the business. I mean, it's hard to think of someone that's reinvented the business once, folks, but to do it twice is fucking insane. It's like we all look at 1985, and I know I mentioned this in the previous video, but 1996 for me is a year that changed the business. I believe without 1996 and without the NWO, we don't get the Attitude Era. And I know the Attitude Era stems a year later from like the screw job and the McMahon character and just an edgier product. But I don't think without the NWO we get that. Without the NWO, I just don't see D Generation X. I don't see a more grittier product, and it's great. I mean, and it's weird. Maybe without the NWO, maybe the years of like the new generation era were both shows were a wee bit tame when it came to the edginess. Maybe they just would have continued. Maybe the new generation era would have lasted years. I don't know, but all I do know is R.I.P. to Hulk Hogan. And it's been a few days. What this is month? This is Sunday. Sorry, and it's still shite. I think the guy's dead, but fair play to Schiavone. And obviously Tony Khan has gave the green light here. I don't think Schiavone's went off script, but at the same time, it should have been done on Thursday, man. Like Tony Khan can hold his own personal grievances with the guy if he fucking truly wants to. Right? I'm not Tony Khan's babysitter, even though he probably needs one. Reality is, he said a word, Tony. You've got people in your company that have done much worse. So, I mean, where is the line going to be drawn when it comes to shit like that? Don't understand it. Anyway, leave your thoughts down below. Shivani comments on Hulk Hogan.